I knew from my mum that breams were very slimy, so I called from afar, "Hi there, Slimy, what are you doing here?" The bream of about my size opened his mouth and said, I am building muddy pies. I started laughing. I couldn't help myself. The bream was stammering like a chick having a cold. "What did you say you are building? Pies?" Yes, with buckets and shovels. I burst into laughter. I held my stomach from the laughter, dropped to the bottom and started to roll down. Whilst doing that, I wrecked all the bream's mud pies. "Don't make fun of our Pete, you pike," yelled someone. I turned round and saw the bream's parents heading towards me, Mr. Bream with Mrs. Bream. "You're Pete," I brayed. "Swim away. We don't want any predators here." Mr. Bream and Mrs. Bream tried to catch me and get me out of here, but I managed to get out of their hold. "Don't you dare touch me. I don't want to be all sticky from that slime of yours. Goodbye, then." I grimaced and stuck my tongue out at them mockingly. I know I'm a rascal, but I cannot help it. I set off again and came to a place full of scattered litter. It was a fishy dump. The dump was near a pipe that brought dirty water into the lake. The water brought in a lot of mess. Crumpled plastic lemonade bottles, empty tins, and a lot of chewing gum wrappers. I also noticed several cans of smoked pike, and sadly hoped that my recently caught mummy hadn't ended up in one of those cans. A shoal of common ruds fiddled around the dump. They were similar to whitefish, so I thought I might try and catch some. I hid behind a rusty saucepan and watched quietly what the common ruds were doing. You won't believe me, but those crazy things were tidying up. And as the common ruds were so engrossed in the tidying up, it was not difficult to approach them unnoticed. At the last moment, I, however, brushed against a rustling bag and gave myself away. The common ruds swam away, and I turned furiously. Angry, I grabbed their black sacks and spilled all the rubbish. Let the ecologists have some fun. Before setting out on my journey again, I noticed half of an uneaten sausage, with a bit of mustard too. I chewed the sausage carefully and swallowed it with delight. It was really pleasant to fall asleep with a full stomach that night. I immersed myself into a dream world and had no idea that tomorrow I was to meet someone who would change my whole life. I yawned deeply in the morning and squinted around. I woke up on a sunlit plain with soft mud and hundreds of carp feeding. They were all happy elders with rounded bellies and big scales and whiskers waving like miniature spaghetti at their mouths. "What's your name?" One big mirror carp approached me suddenly. "Madeleine." "My name is Eugene." He introduced himself kindly and put a deliciously smelling brown ball in his mouth. "May I ask to where you're swimming?" "To see an old family friend, Jonah the catfish," I said proudly. When Eugene heard the name, he frowned. We don't exactly love Jonah. Many of our friends have already found their way into his tummy." "He is to take care of me," I said stubbornly. "Do you know where I can find him?" "Under the old sunken willow. He sleeps out there during the day, but he won't be that pleased to see you. He is a recluse, just like all other predators." "And why should we be a recluse?" I took offence. "Because you are mean." I turned red with anger. "Mean? You bet we are mean, Eugene. I can't wait to catch my first whitefish, and if you were smaller, I would eat you as well. Farewell." "Madeleine," Eugene the carp stopped me. "Can I ask you a favour?" I nodded, frowning. "When you find Jonah, please don't tell him that we, the carp, are here at Sunny Pasture. He would attack us at night and eat us up." "Well, I will think about that," I growled, waved my tail, and was gone. It wasn't that difficult to find Jonah. The bright green leaves of his sunken willow glowed from afar. I swam into its branches and saw Jonah's huge sleeping figure straight away. His long whiskers that hang to all sides like aerials shivered, and the catfish opened his eyes, which were really tiny compared with his huge body. "Who the heck is waking me up?" said Jonah in a hoarse voice. "Madeleine," I squeaked, and grinned at him as nicely as I could. "My mummy sent me the pike from the other side of the lake." And why is that?" "Because a fisherman got her, and her last wish was for me to find you so you can take care of me." "Take care of you?" Jonah rubbed his huge fatty stomach. Then he turned to the side a little and winded. A flow of smelly greenish bubbles zigzagged through the branches, playfully zooming towards the water's surface. "I'm not going to look after some pike brat. Forget that. What good can you be to me?" Jonah turned onto his other side and sent out yet another volley of bubbles. "I can keep you company," I suggested, and tried to breathe through my mouth. "I don't want anyone here, especially not another hungry mouth." I stared at our old family friend, bewildered. "Swim off," Jonah urged me. He hawked and spat a gelatinous-like spit onto the bottom of the lake. I was desperately thinking what to do. I cannot have that fish, who has the same predaceous blood in his veins, drive me away that easily. I had an idea. "Jonah, if you let me stay with you, I will tell you where the carp are at this moment." Jonah's small piggy eyes enlarged greedily. "Where?" "At the Sunny Pasture." Jonah slept through the rest of the day. He didn't wake up till early evening, which he welcomed with a mighty wind. Without even looking at me once, he got ready and swam towards the forthcoming dusk. I waved my fin in front of my face angrily to disperse the smelly water when uneasy thoughts filled my mind. Wasn't I wrong telling Jonah where the carp were? Jonah can no doubt eat many of them. What if Eugene is one of them? Eugene was very nice to me. He did annoy me when he said that predators were mean, but wasn't he actually right? Do I really want for that repulsive catfish to eat that kind carp? I didn't wait any longer and shot towards Sunny Pasture. When I arrived there, it was covered with the coat of night. I found Eugene quickly and told him breathlessly that Jonah is getting nearer. Eugene woke the other carp quickly and took them to safety. "Come with us, Madeleine," he invited me, and I agreed. I was well aware that Jonah would revenge my betrayal. When Jonah brought his fatty tummy to the Sunny Pasture that night, The carp were long gone, so he had no other option but to take his fatty tummy back to his willow angrily. I stayed with the carp. I felt nice amongst them, and it was the very first time that I thought it would actually be nice to have friends. I was thinking about Eugene and what he had said, that it is the predator's meanness that creates their loneliness. How can I change my character when I am a carnivorous, teethy pike that must eat fish? Thousands of such questions ran through my brain before I finally managed to fall asleep that night. When I woke the next day, the whole shoal of carp was smiling at me. "Thank you for saving us, Madeleine," Eugene said. "I don't deserve you thanking me," I whispered and dropped my eyes ashamed. It was me who had told Jonah that he could find you at the sunny pasture. Eugene was taken aback for a bit, but then he stroked my cheek. "Everyone can make a mistake in life, Madeleine. What is important is to try to fix it." I started wobbling. I just wanted someone to take care of me. Instead of that, I found a smelly, winding fatso who doesn't care about me at all. I don't have any friends. "There are many fish that can be friends with you," Eugene assured me, and threw a brown ball into his mouth. "But I am a pike, and I have teeth that everyone is afraid of," I added whiningly and bared my pins at Eugene. "It doesn't matter that you have teeth, Madeleine. What is important is what you use them for," said the large mirrorfish wisely. "As soon as the others realise how good you are, they will stop fearing you." "But I am a carnivore by nature. What is to fill my stomach if I cannot catch fish?" "Try this." Eugene bent down and passed me one brown ball. "It's meaty." "You carp eat meat?" I marvelled. "Yes, we also have teeth. They are called pharyngeal teeth, and they are placed deep in our throat." I examined the ball thoroughly. Then I pecked on it timidly, and my eyes closed blissfully straight away. It was delicious. "If you eat these balls and variegate it with earthworms or water snails from time to time, the others will soon stop being afraid of you, but you have to convince them about that." I thanked Eugene enthusiastically for his advice, and I knew where my fins were to take me next.